wanted to share with you today a mid-year goals check-in, and this is going to be about the books, my books from this year, and also just about my channel and life and my art as well. Just kind of putting it all into one here today. So I just rewatched my 2020 goals video before filming this, and I think it's really interesting to look at the optimism in my face when I filmed that video compared to what the reality of 2020 has been thus far. I think most of us are feeling very overwhelmed with 2020 and are rather flabbergasted that things are going as they are. But in the spirit of making the most of whatever the year has given us, I just want to do that now and kind of regroup myself for the rest of 2020 in terms of my reading. The biggest portion of my reading thus far in 2020 has been for the BookTube Prize, and I think before starting this process, I just was not, it wouldn't have been possible for me to be able to anticipate the time it takes to do this and the experience and what it would be like. And I have to say, I've really enjoyed the experience for the most part. I think I started off round 1 judging nonfiction, and round 2 I judged fiction, and we're on round 3 right now, and I'm back to nonfiction, and I am assuming that I will also be doing fiction for the final round. And so that has taken up a lot of my reading. So far I've read 12 books for the BookTube Prize, and I'm reading through the next 6. So in total, I will have read 24 books for the BookTube Prize this year. And that is, like I said, taking up a huge amount of time, but also has been really rewarding. In case you are new, or in case you haven't been watching, all of the BookTube Prize experience has been vlogged, and or videos about it have been extensively made on my channel. So I have a whole playlist of those videos, and I will link that in the description box down below if you're interested in having a look. So given the amount of time that the BookTube Prize takes, my personal reading has certainly been on the back burner a bit, but I am really overall very pleased because I've read more books so far this year than I've ever read, and the motivation with the BookTube Prize has certainly helped with that. So I'm really happy with that result, and I'll just update you as well on my personal projects that I've started on this channel over the last 2 years. My 1970s project has probably been my most neglected project, which is frustrating me, but I am taking steps to rectify that situation. So around this time of year, around June, I just look through my plans, what I had hoped to read, and like kind of plan out the next 6 months and see how much time I have left to try to fit in everything. So I would love to finish the last 5 books on my 10 book list for my 1970s project by the end of the year in December. So I have mapped out those last 5 books. I have purchased the one that is not available at my library, and so I'll be able to read all 5 of them and make my first 1970s project update video at the end of 2020. My other one of the other projects that I set out at the end of 2019 was my 5-star predictions video. I chose 5 books for that list, and I just finished the 5th one. So there will be a video forthcoming talking about that project. So it feels really good to have that little project completed. The other project that I have, not progressed in very much at all is my favorite authors project. So I chose 12 authors that I wanted to read again in 2020, and so far I've completed 3, and I am on my 4th right now. So I am quite behind, and I'm gonna have to double up and whatnot. I may not worry too much and put too much pressure on myself about this. Given the climate of 2020 and how chaotic it has been and how it has thrown curveballs, I just don't feel like it's necessary to put so much pressure on myself for a project that is, you know, something I created myself and I should enjoy anyway. So if I get them all done, when I get them all done, I will make a video about it. Whether that is before the end of the year, I really can't say right now, but it will happen one way or the other. I wanted to read 1 short story collection per month or 12 short story collections. And thus far, I have read 5 short story collections. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty on track. Last year when I was reading, I wanted to read 12 poetry collections. I actually only read 11. So, you know, I'll be fine if I get to the end of the year and I didn't do 12. But again, short story collections are a pretty manageable addition to the TBR I find each month. So I'm hoping that it'll be there. I ended up choosing 3 German books to read along with Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventures and Britta Bowler's Read More German Books 2020 hashtag. And those are coming up soon. I wanted to get those out of the library, and so with the library shutting down, it kind of derailed my plans. But I only picked out 3, so I feel that I can fit those 3 in and that should be something that I can accomplish by the end of the year. And I participated in 6 readathons so far this year. So even though I'm not following through with a lot of my self-structured goals, I feel like I have been participating in a lot of things and enjoying a lot of things on BookTube in general. So, you know, what can I say? I guess the personal projects are the easiest to push to the side for me. So I didn't want to do the mid-year freakout tag that a lot of people do at this time of year, because I find that a lot of the questions on there are just not questions that pertain to my reading very much. So that's why I just decided to do a more chatty video about it. But I did want to share with you my top reads so far of 2020. So The Book of Night Women by Marlon James, absolutely loved, 5 stars. The Lacuna by Barbara Kingsolver, absolutely loved, 5 stars. The Beekeeper of Aleppo by Christy Lefteri, which was a book I read for the BookTube prize. Right now, it is my favorite and the one I'm hoping that will win for the fiction. Frog Music by Emma Donoghue, just lovely, lovely story. And The Good Muslim by Tahmima Anam. She's just a fantastic writer, and I read that book, I think, back in January, so it has stayed with me, and those are my top 5 reads so far of 2020 in fiction. I didn't really include nonfiction because I feel like the jury is still out for me on my favorite, and also I can't talk about some of the books because I'm just reading them in this round right now for the BookTube prize, so that one is gonna have to wait. I'll start a new project for 2020 for reading, of course, which was my Bloomsbury Diaries, and I will link the first one in the description box if you haven't watched it yet. Essentially what this project is all about is about me documenting my research process for my artwork, and also it's about me documenting this mini obsession, or maybe it's not mini, maybe it's just a full-on obsession I have with the Bloomsbury group. So there's going to be a whole series of videos about that, and there's a little playlist for it, and yeah, I'm excited about it, and I want to be reading those books really badly because they're kind of the newer books that I've gotten. But I also really want to honor the fact that I have all these other books on my TBR that need to be read too. So along with books on my channel, I also love to make videos about traveling, and I also love to make videos about my art and my art practice. You will know for obvious reasons why there hasn't been a travel video, although in British Columbia where I live, we have had restrictions easing because our numbers are very low, and so in-province travel is being encouraged. And so my family just booked a week in Tofino. We were in Tofino last year, and I made a video about Tofino, which I will link down below. But we're going back because my husband loves to surf, and we love it there. We love the beach. We love the pace of life there. And so after quite a stressful first 6 months of the year, where our March vacation had to be canceled due to COVID-19, we are going to be able to go on a little local trip, which will be wonderful. I may make more of an art vlog when I'm in Tofino. I have definitely stepped back a bit on my art making videos, and I've done that sort of intentionally and sort of not intentionally. There's a lot of technical aspects to filming my artwork process that I find I haven't managed to come up with a solution to yet. And a lot of that is about equipment and different things like that that I hope to get in future for my channel. And a lot of it is also because of the current climate with everything going on for Black Lives Matter. There have been a lot of webinars and seminars going on locally to me around anti-racist work, around amplifying Black leaders in my local community. And so I've been really engaged in that for the last 2 to 3 weeks. And so that has shifted a lot of my artistic energy, because social justice has always been a really important part of my art practice. Even though the work I've been making recently has not been specifically relating to those issues, I do make work around social justice issues, and I feel like it's just a really important moment right now to be learning and listening and amplifying and sharing. And so I'm focused on that right now, and it's making my own promotion as an artist for my personal practice a little bit less important to me than it was a few months ago. So I'm just letting that happen naturally. I'm not going to worry about it. I am still working. I'm still working on the pieces that I wanted to finish by the end of the year. I'm certainly not going to be doing that. I'm hoping to be through one piece by the end of the year, and then I've got another one started, and then the big one will probably be a 2021 project. But it's, yeah, this tends to happen with my art, and I try to not be too hard on myself about it. I'm only one person. My work is very labor intensive, and I don't make it, it's not about quantity for me, is what I'm trying to say. And I do have a little side project that I'm working on with my son Elliot, which I'm finding really great as well. A great reflection of the year and what's been going on. So just trying to be very laid back about that aspect of my life and not put too much pressure on myself. That is my reading so far as of today, which is June 27th of 2020. So I hope that you are having a great reading 6 months, and that your next 6 months will be better if you haven't had a great reading 6 months. And I will talk to you again soon in another video. Thanks so much for watching.